If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. One of the reasons I've covered celebrities so much over the year, despite some of the things you might have thought or what people might have said, was for reasons like this, because they were here and put here to socially engineer the masses. That's their job. Now, in the eye of the elite, yes, the eye of the elite, they're the weakest level. They're the lowlifes to them. They laugh at them. They mock them. But in our world, that's how inverted everything is. The sheep drool and bow at the feet of these people. To the elite, they're the bottom level. These are their self-servant slaves who are put there to dress the way they tell them to act the way they tell them to, and push the agendas that they tell them to push, because these people are almost subhuman in a sense. They don't think for themselves. They don't act for themselves. They're told what to do. And we have our social engineers coming out more and more now because they're being told to, as far as influencing the masses to get the jab. Oh, we have a perfect example of one right here. Jennifer Aniston, who I've covered on this channel before. You might say, Jennifer Aniston, interesting call. You've covered her before. Well, of course I've covered her, because they're all connected to witchcraft and Satanism, which I'll show you. And when they're connected to that, I feel the need to show you so you can see how they're all working together. And they all just like the same things. They're all pro magic potion. Isn't that nuts? Man, they really, they all just happen to be talented actors, really talented at that, and they all just happen to have the same exact opinion. It has nothing to do with influence at all. Now, why did these people have influence? We don't know, really, right? If we think about it, how ridiculous it is. I mean, what has Jennifer Aniston done that people look up to her and admire? This?
Is that me gold?
What the hell are you?
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
Yeah, the leprechaun, believe it or not. Now, remember, these are also the social engineers that have caused our society to mutate themselves because they don't allow themselves to age, because they're so vain and they're so into vanity, which is part of what their job is as social engineers, that we have men and women who mutate their faces as they get older because they want to defy aging. Now, why do you think they want to defy aging? Because they want to hook up in their 70s? Or because they are trying to, at least mentally, as well as physically, I suppose, tell themselves that they're going to defy father time and they're not going to make it to the end, they're not going to have to face the end. They're going to continue to find the fountain of youth, so to speak, with their adreno. But that's not the case, is it? So let's look at Jennifer Aniston here, because this is pretty hilarious. And if you can't see the social engineering, well, I don't know what to tell you, but how convenient that this article just happened to come out today about Jennifer Aniston talking about the magic potion and saying a lot of opinions don't feel based in anything except fear. And then Jennifer goes on to talk about how she has distanced herself and lost friends because she doesn't want to be around people who don't have it. Well, isn't that really, really convenient? Jennifer Aniston keeps her people close, she says, but she keeps her jabbed ones even closer. In a new interview with In Style, the actress admitted she's been strict about keeping jabbed company in her circle, noting in the process that there's a large group of people who just don't listen to the facts. And let me ask real quick, Jen, is that the goddess circle that you're referring to? Yeah, do you remember the goddess circle where she came out a few years ago, or I don't even know if maybe it was last year, and she, was admitting how she has a goddess circle where they practice witchcraft and use crystal, another thing that all the celebrities just love to do and indoctrinate the masses with, which is spirituality, third eye, right? Yoga, summoning deity. What a coincidence. Because, and, also convenient that she has this opinion, and here she is just saying, hey, everything's A-okay. Or is this her promoting Donald Trump? because I'm pretty sure all these people are liberal, right? Oh, it's her saying hi to her. Yeah, the one she worships. That's her with the 666. This is her with a eyelash, obviously. She's a booger or something in her eye, so she's holding her eye shut. And of course, shh, what's the big secret? Well, none of us know. Oh, we do know. We do know, Jen. We know the secret. You're all working together. You're likely Eastern Star, related to some of these people. Obviously, they're all related. It's all taboo, so to speak. But she said, it's a real shame. This is the quote she says. I've just lost a few people in my weekly routine who have refused or did not disclose whether they got the magic potion. And it was unfortunate. She says, I feel it's your moral and professional obligation to inform, since we are not all potted up and being tested every single day. Well, maybe we should have you tested every single day, Jen. Right? I like to run a test on you to see how much adreno you've got in you. You know what I mean? But seriously, do you see what they're doing here? Right? They take Jennifer Aniston. She's like, supposed to be like cookie cut. Oh, she's not, she's a sweetheart because she was in some, Friends. I mean, right? And people are like, I love that show. So I can relate to this person. I know nothing about them or what they're into, but I love the character because I can relate to the character on the show. So whatever she says, I'll do. So they come out and then they shame people like this. But at the same time, if they heard me say something about a certain prideful community, then they would come out and try to take my free speech away and shame me and say I am a bully. Well, this is pretty much bullying it. Well, it's not the same thing because you can make someone sick. Well, you can make me sick. I mean, you pretty much do already. I've seen a couple of your movies make me sick. But it's a real shame, she says, that she's lost a few people in her weekly routine. And that's not shaming anyone. And she's saying that she feels it's your obligation to inform your medical information to people. There's no agenda behind this at all, folks. They all seem to care so much. Do they care when somebody goes to work with the flu? Oh, it's not comparable. Actually, they've even, the data is comparable. It is. And they're going out there talking about, you're selfish, you're making people sick. Well, that's the same as telling somebody who goes to work sick that they're selfish, when in reality, you don't get unlimited sick days, do you? Right? Oh, but with this, because of the magic potion, there's a lot more tied in that we need to be aware of. Aniston did not clarify whether she was referring to friends, acquaintances, or those who work with or for her. She said it's tricky because everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but a lot of opinions don't feel based in anything except fear or propaganda. Exactly, Jen. Exactly. Exactly what you're doing. I mean, I totally understand. Excuse me. She says, again, a lot of the opinions don't feel based in anything except fear or propaganda. Well, where are your opinions coming from, Jen? Oh, the science? Are you a scientist too? When you're not busy reading fake lines with a leprechaun? You're supposed to tell me what I should put in my body because you played a role opposite of a leprechaun? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Can you imagine? Like I always bring this up, like people 1,000 years ago. And then they were like, wait, you were influenced by this? Yeah, they were influenced by her. What? Wait, she's in what is this thing? And talking to a leprechaun? And they're being persuaded their opinion. Yeah, they're being persuaded how they dress, the makeup they wear, all this stuff they're putting on their body, which, again, pollutants for their body. But, yeah, these people, their heads would blow up on the spot. And then, of course, it goes on to talk about Aniston and the films that she's in currently. Nobody cares. As the ratings and all these things continue to plummet for these people, they're losing their grip. And it's pretty funny watching it in a sense because they don't really have a choice. They're in the Brotherhood. Remember the rules of the Brotherhood. Or you do what you're told or you're out. That's why you see a lot of some of these celebrities go bye-bye. Their time's up. They don't make the proper sacrifice or they don't do what they're told. Because they're literally the lowest form in the secret society. They are the front. They might be looked at as the most important, prominent to the sheep. But that's because the people like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, they don't want attention on themselves. They want attention on these people. And these people live for the attention. They live to be worshipped and drooled at. Ariana Grande, another perfect example. I'm not going to show the article on the screen, I don't think, because it's got a lot of trigger words. But she came out and she's got 256 million followers on Instagram and Twitter and all these places. I guess Instagram, this says. And she's posting about reminding everyone almost every other day to get it. Wow, she really cares so much about everyone out there, right? No one's telling her to do that. She's just waking up and she's like, oh man, I just want the betterment of society. Let me post this on my Instagram. And she's saying, this thing's not over. I mean, you could clearly tell that she didn't write this, by the way. This thing's not over yet. The Delta is very new. And since data is changing all the time, I'll source some links for you to stay up to speed for yourself. But so far, we do know that it spreads much more easily compared to previous variants. Most of the spread's among unjabbed people in the areas with low jab rates. Oh, did you write that yourself? No, because likely Ariana can't add one and one together or even likely make a sentence on her own, because none of these people are. They're literally just programmed zombies who go out there and do what they're told, and then they sit in a room pretty much haywired until they're tapped upon again to go out there and do it. All of them. I mean, what do you think all the stuff with Britney? I mean, come on. That's what they all are. All of them. Every single one. So this is Jennifer telling you and shaming you that, telling people out there who have it already, who obviously are the people who worship the celebrities, that they should start. I mean, that's the messaging here. The messaging is to shame the people who don't have it, who are fringe, and then to get the people who do. She's trying to tell you, maybe you should cut them out of your life. Maybe you shouldn't hang around them anymore. And look, we can all sit here and say the feeling's mutual, but let's point out the obvious of how the engineering works, because we do have loved ones and people we care about who have gotten it. And whether we're all angry about everything that's going on, but it doesn't mean we don't care about the people who took this already. Of course we do. I think about it day and night. Not just people I know, but people I don't know, because it's not really fair how they've duped people in this world, in this matrix world that we're currently in. It's really not. It's pretty pathetic that those are the tactics that Satan has to use on the masses. But this is biblical. This is foretold. That's why the amount of people that get into heaven is so narrow. Because there are so many people who have been led astray, unfortunately, in this world. But if these people actually understood, then the gate would be wider. The gate would be bigger. More people would be going. But unfortunately, people like Aniston are the reason they're not. These engineers are the ones who are leading people astray. They're the false gods the Bible talks about, these false deities worshiping false gods. These people believe they're literally gods amongst us. And they're so brainwashed, they actually think it. Scary. But reality, unfortunately. We live in a scary reality. So Aniston coming out, letting you know, if you are someone who received the potion, consider not hanging around people who don't have it, and make sure you get everyone's medical information, which is illegal, by the way, just to let you know, Jennifer. But we know that none of this really came from your own mouth. It came from your handlers. So maybe you should just work on the leprechaun too for the time being, I want to remind everyone to check out the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. It is well worth it. Please consider joining if you haven't. Great information over there. Obviously, they're continuing to censor the internet. You all know that. I don't have to tell you that every day, but just a friendly reminder. Hope to see people over there. And make sure you sub to my other channels if you haven't. I've been trying to remind everyone out there because they're going to do another small purge. They do it every, they stop and everyone's like, oh, I think, they're just going to leave us. But no, they're not. This has been going on for years. So I have all these channels created for you guys if you like the content. So hopefully the least you can do is subscribe to it. I'd appreciate it. But if you don't want to listen every day too, or if you don't want to be able to find the channel, understandable. But obviously I know most of you already are who listen to the channel every day. So I appreciate that. I want to thank the Patreons, and I want to thank all of you out there again for your support. The social engineers, folks, doing what they do best, being full of crap. Thanks again for listening. God bless all of you and your families.